So we are going to be creating a picture based off of the Florida Highwaymen. Now they would always sell theirs in a frame, so you'll have a little tiny border going around your paper. So remember our things about the Florida Highwaymen were that it was going to have bright colors and tranquil scenes. So we're going to be creating a picture that is going to have a nice tranquil Florida scene. Okay, so we're going to go first where we're going to start our horizon line. Horizon line is where the land is going to meet the sky. So we're going to start first with a nice straight line in the middle of our paper. This is where we have our land and then our sky. After that, we're going to start to create our land. So we're going to add a little bit of some islands. And that's just a wavy line. Okay? Then we're going to add another little island right here. That's another wavy line. So we have two pieces of land right here, and the rest would be going into water. After that, we're going to create a sunrise. So that we can create a sunrise, we're going to make a circle shape. So we're going to just take and curve a line. So now we have the sun. After we have our sun, we want to create a reflection in the water because we're making the ocean. So we're going to make a wavy triangle. So it's a reflection of that sunlight. Once we've made our reflection, we're going to add some palm trees. So I'm going to have some in my background, and I'm going to add a couple in my foreground. So we have our background, we'll have something in the middle, and we'll have something in the front. So we have background, midground, foreground. So in the background, we're going to make a small tree. I'm going to start off with a little curved rectangle. It looks like a rectangle, but it's curved. Then I'm going to create some palm leaves. These are kind of the ones that have coconuts. So I make a wavy line. After I make my wavy line, I'm going to make another one, and it looks like a wavy oval. And there's really no wrong way to do that. And you want to have about 4 or 5 wavy ovals. So now I have my palm tree. You want to add some coconuts on it. You can add a little circles on there. That's up to you. It's in the background, so it's pretty far away. Okay? Then I want to create some palm trees in my foreground. So this is what's going to be in the front. So I'm going to create a curved line. Another curved line. I can close up my rectangles if I want to, or I can start to form some of my other shapes. So maybe like I have some coconuts right underneath here. Maybe it's like 3 coconuts. And then maybe I want to start to put my palm leaves. Remember, those were wavy ovals. We're going to be getting 5 wavy ovals. Now, our palm tree has to be on land. You have a decision to make your land line go all the way down, or maybe you want to make it where it's a little bit here and a little bit here. I'm going to make my land line go all the way across. So now I have in my foreground some land. I have my midground right here where the water is. And I have my background. After I've done that, I'm going to add another palm tree. Now you can keep making it like a curvy rectangle, or because it's a palm tree, you can make it kind of like an S shape. It doesn't have to be perfect because it is a tree. And trees grow all different kinds of way, depending on how the wind is blowing or how it wants to look towards the sun. This one maybe only has 1 coconut. And then I'm going to make some palm trees. It's up to you how many coconuts you have in your tree. And I'm making 5 leaves. I might have another coconut on the other side. And it's up to you if you can add a little bit of lines on the ones in the foreground, because you're going to see more details on the things that are in the foreground, that's in the front, that are closest to you. So maybe you want some little details, some curved lines on the tree branches. You can do that. So now I have my foreground. I still have my midground, that's my middle, and I have my background. I want to think about what I might have in the midground. So what might be out here in this ocean part? So there's some things I could add. I could add maybe a dolphin. I could add a bird. I could add a little boat. Think about what you might want to have in your midground. I'm going to add a little boat. So I'm going to add 2 diagonal lines, a little curved line. I'm going to add some little wavy lines in that midground. And this one is just going to have 1 sail. It's a little simple boat. So I add a triangle, and I add a little line to hold up that triangle. And maybe there's a little person in it. So I can add a little tiny wiggly shape so it looks like a silhouette of a person in the boat in the midground. So we have foreground, what's in the front, midground, what's in the middle, background, what is far away. I can also, on my water, add some little wavy lines. So now I have my wavy lines, I have my background. If I want to add some little birds in the sky flying, I can add a couple little birds in the sky. So once we've sketched it out, we are now ready to start to paint. All right, so we're going to start to paint our Florida landscape. Now, we're going to give you all the colors, so try not to mix them. That way you have lots of different bright colors. Remember, there's tranquil scenes and then bright colors. So now I want to think about my colors I might have on my seascape that I have. So I'm going to start with yellow. That's my weakest color. I'm going to add it where my sun is. I'm going to even add it right here where that triangle is. I can even add a little bit right up in here, going around on my sky. Once I've done that, I want to get a little bit of white. I'm gonna add some white here. I'm gonna clean my brush. I'm gonna add some pink, well, actually red, because I'm mixing it with the white. I'm also gonna kind of mix it in a little bit with my yellow. So my red's very kind of pink in color. I can even, going around here, add a little bit of orange. Kind of get some of this also in our water. Because remember, water is clear and it's reflecting all those different colors that we're seeing. So I'm adding a little bit of that white. I'm mixing my red. I mix the white and the red on my paper. It's giving me some pinks. A little bit more orange going right up in here. And then I'm going to add some white. I'm going to take my blue, I'm just going to a little bit, and I'll mix that with my white. So I'm mixing my colors on the paper. Because this is far away and it's on a sunrise, I can make this part in silhouette. So I'm taking my brush. I'm going to get some black where my tree is. I'm coloring that in silhouette as well. I can, if you want to add a little bit of color into it, maybe you want to get it where it's showing a little bit of like a dark green. So it's silhouetted, but also has a little bit of a hint of its green colors. You can do that as well. And I'm going to start to come over here to my midground, start to work on my water. I'm going to add a little bit more of the white because I want to blend and mix it. I'm going to get a little bit of red, so I get a little more of the red in there. And then get some blues. Now notice I'm kind of using that water to let it go really thin so I can see my lines and my shapes of things. Temper does not have to be thick all the time. You can move around with some water. So now I have my background done, I have my sky, I've got most of my midground down. I just got a little bit where my boat is. Now I'm gonna leave my sail white. I'm going to go in and get a little bit of brown for my boat. It's up to you what color your boat is. Maybe you want to put it in silhouette, you can do that. I'm going to go back where that person is and get a little bit of black on them. Because that's so white, I might go in and add the actual white paint. Just so it makes it look a little bit more painted. Then I'm going to look at my palm trees. Now, palm trees are very kind of light brown, so I'm going to start with my peach. I'm going to then go in with a little bit of brown. Coconuts are just brown, so I'm going to add some brown there. I can get my green for the leaves. Now move this about a little bit. So I had a little bit too much water there. Then for my land, I have to decide, is this grass or is this beach? So I'm going to go in. I'm going to first start with it being like the beach. So I'm going to start some peach. I might add a little bit of yellow and orange into it. So it makes it a little bit more beachy. And sometimes beach, you can also see little bits of green. So I'm going to add some little tufts of green. So think about your land. So now I have my foreground. That's the front part of my picture. I have my midground, what's in the middle. I have my background. I have my sky, where my horizon line is. I now still have my frame. So remember, the Florida Highwaymen would put their pictures in a frame. And we're making just our paper, our frame. You get to pick what color you want to have your frame. Don't just leave it white. So notice I have all these little spots. I'm going to go in and I'm going to pick a color. I'm going to go purple for my frame. And I'm just taking and creating a frame. Trying to stay in that frame line, not get into my actual picture. I got a little. So there's my picture done. We got to learn about the Florida Highwaymen. We got to create a tranquil scene with bright colors. We got to create a landscape / seascape because we also have the ocean in there as well. And we got to paint with tempera paint.